public praise, for a private testimony. If I told you, I wish I could preach. Somebody help me preach. Look your neighbor in the eye. Grab somebody's hand. Look them in the eye. And say, neighbor. Darling, talking to your neighbor. Grab their hand. And say, listen to me. If I told you about everything I've been through, if I told you about the hellhole he brought me out of, if I told you how I used to be, you change your seat. See, but when I get crazy with your praise, that's my private testimony. When I run around the church, that's my private testimony. When I jump in place, that's my private testimony. When I shake out my palm, that's my private testimony. I just rose to tell somebody tonight, I believe God. And I heard the man look at Jesus, and I heard Jesus say, do you believe? And I heard the man say, in so many words, I'm trying to believe. And if you can, work it out for me. But I heard Jesus say, with men, some things are possible, but with God, all things. Somebody help me say, all things are possible. He said, do you believe? And he said, Lord, I believe. Help thou my unbelief. I just came to tell the conviction, keep on trusting God. I just came to tell the conviction that God is not through blessing you. I just came to tell somebody we've been made endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Shake somebody's hand and say, neighbor, I know you've been to hell and back. Say, but I got good news for you. Morning is coming. I see the sun rising in the horizon. Somebody put your hand out. Look at your neighbor and point over yonder and say, I see the sun rising in your future. The night is almost over. The storm is passing over. You don't have to wait till the battle's over. Shout right now. Dance right now. Can I get a few crazy prayers? Just